Hi, I'm Despina Takis. I am here tonight to show you some doTERRA OnGuard DIYs. These are things that I use in my home every day. So I'm going to make you a carpet deodorizer, which I like to put on top of my carpet before I vacuum, just to give it a freshen up and a nice smell to it, rather than buying the floor powder that you can get just from the supermarket. So I am just using bicarb soda for that. So I just put it into this bowl, and I like it because it's got the holes, so I can do it straight over the carpet if I make it. And I like to put it back into sort of something like this in order to just shake it over the carpet. You can put it into like a shaker of any sort, even like a what's it called? A Parmesan cheese one. Of course, the hardest consuming part is taking it out of here. Okay, so I just sort of mix that up. And I like to use my OnGuard, so I put about, depending on how much I'm making, 5 or 6 drops. Put a few more in there today. I also like to put some lavender into there. Again, it just depends on how much I'm making. And some lemongrass as well, just to get, but you can use any other oils that you like. And I just mix that through. Just make sure you mix it through properly. And so then I just sort of do that, obviously not on the thing, but around the carpet. And then I like to just store whatever I've made leftovers into just a jar. So I'll just scoop that in. And then I label my jars so I know that it's for the carpet. And that's all for that one. And you've got your carpet deodorizer there. Now the next thing I'm going to make you is, I'll make you a room spray. So we just use a glass bottle. I like I use the dark color one, so then the sunlight doesn't go straight to it. So I'll use my funnel, and I just get some distilled water from Coles, Safeway, wherever. This one here is just a couple of dollars. I think it's $2 for this. And I just fill that up to about halfway, because I like to make it fresh all the time. And then take that off, and I add my 10 drops of OnGuard because I love it, because it disinfects the air. Wasn't counting how many drops I was putting, but I love my OnGuard because it disinfects the air. So I use that in my diffuser every single time I diffuse as well. So I'm disinfecting the air all the time. And then I love to use my Easy Air as a respiratory blend. So I put about 10 drops of that in. If it's not coming out, I've picked up the wrong Easy Air. Okay, but we use 10 drops of that. And again, the Easy Air is good for respiratory, so especially with this weather. It's just helping us breathe. I also like to use, so upstairs during bedtime I'll put lavender in there. So I'll make a bedtime one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I use a bedtime one that you can just spray. During the day, I also like to use a wild orange or a lemony, but you can add whatever else oils that you like in there. Make your own room spray. You can spray the curtains, you can spray, your couches, just not too much. And I just like to shake it around, and then I like to just spray it in the air. So that's that one, and just put a label on it so you know. So I'm just going to put this one over this way, just so I know the difference. The other one I'm going to make DIY with, again, I'm going to make a sanitizer, so like I use on my benches. So I just use vinegar. This one's from Costco, so this one's only a couple of dollars from Costco. Or you can use, I'll use my funnel again, or you can just the Coles brand. It doesn't have to be expensive. And again, I just do about halfway, a little bit more depending. I make this every day, or every few days I should say, not every day. So I'll do that. And again, we'll do 10 drops of OnGuard. And I will put lemon onto my benches. 10 of that one. If you wanted to just change up the smell, you can add some wild orange. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like to keep my drops sort of consistent. Again, you can use some, I like the smell of that, but again, another citrusy one is lemongrass. Some people like this one, some people don't, but I quite like using it. And you can add whatever other oils you like in here if you don't like the smell of one of them, or, you know, some oregano is nice too, just to, you know, a couple of drops. Probably put half of as much drops because it's quite strong. Sometimes I put a couple of drops because it's good for mold. And that's it, shake it up. I like to shake it every time I use it, just to bring the oils back to mixing it all up back together. So every time I sort of spray the bench, I'll use, oh, we better switch it on. I just shake it up every time, and then I just wipe the bench. The other thing I like doing is with my benches or my sinks and that, I quite like to put, again, this is the OnGuard concentrate, which makes, can make up to 18 litres, which is awesome. So you can dilute this and put it into a water bottle as well, into a glass bottle. You can, with just some water or some vinegar, you can, I quite like using it straight onto my sponge, just a really little bit to wipe the benches as well. So it just really depends on how you love to use it. I wash my dishes with it as well, so I dilute it, and I wash my dishes with it as well. I use it in my bathrooms, in my mop bucket. I love using the OnGuard, so I just sort of change it up. And that is all. So just from a few little products, you know, a handful of products, we've made a carpet deodorizer, we've made a bench or sanitizer, we've made a room spray. So yeah, there's lots of little things. You can also make you can make a tray, like an ice cube tray of some, so you can put in bath bombs, but they're for the toilet, and you can use OnGuard in them as well. So there's lots of little things. I also love to use OnGuard, especially if, you know, you get sometimes the clothes that, you know, from oil or a barbecue. Sometimes I like to put OnGuard part of my sanitizer, so I'll just use the vinegar again in my softener dispenser. I'll use OnGuard. I'll use, you know, lemon, grapefruit, lavender, but I do use Purify. But there are a lot of different oils, but I love the OnGuard. I love the cinnamony. I've actually got it everywhere. And the kids love it as sanitizing, so they love to actually put it onto their hands if we're out and about, rather than using the hand wash at the toilets, especially after what, you know, it's quite not nice, some of them. So we quite like to use the sanitizer on hand. That's all for me tonight. I hope that was something you can use and something useful. And until next time, good night.